Okay, this will be a quick little showcase of my portable streaming setup in anticipation for a very special guest before the summer ends. Here we go. And we're live! No stinger transitions, because whatever. Let's bring the camera down here. And GPT is right here. I'm gonna turn on this timer to see how quickly the laptop will drain with a phone and a microphone attached to it. So, let's see. We're 17 seconds strong, and the laptop is currently at 70%. We'll see how long it takes to get to 20% or so. So, here we go. Yo, GPT.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How about you?
I'm alright. I'm gonna spend the next 30 minutes talking to you. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me. What's on your mind?
Throw anything on the table and I'll respond.
Alright, let's see. What's the most random fact you've learned recently?
That's a good question. Let me think about that for a second.
Take your time, no rush.
Most random fact I've learned recently? Oh, I learned that Brock Lesnar has not won any mid-card titles in the WWE. Only world championships.
That's wild. It's like he skips right past the mid-level stuff and goes straight for the top. He's definitely got a unique career path in WWE. Are you a big wrestling fan?
I am a massive professional wrestling fan, yes.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite wrestler or era of wrestling you're most into?
I don't know if I can tell you my favorite wrestler because there are just two. Well, maybe I can tell you my favorite wrestler. I think my favorite wrestler right now is a man named Bryan Danielson. He's currently signed to All Elite Wrestling.
Right? Bryan Danielson's been killing it there. His
She
technical
stopped
skills
me.
are on another level. What do you like most about his style?
I like his technicality. He's a very sensible wrestler.
Wrestler, right? His matches always feel well thought out and precise. Like every move has a
I
purpose.
didn't.
Plus, he's so versatile. He can have a great match with almost anyone. Any particular match of his that stands out to you?
Hey GPT. Do you know who Gunther is in the WWE?
Yes, I do. Gunther, formerly known as Walter, is a powerhouse in WWE. He's known for his strong style and dominant presence in the ring. Have you been following his matches?
A little bit, yeah. One of my dream matches these days would be Gunther versus Bryan Danielson. I think their styles mesh well together in the ring, and that would be fun to see.
That would be an incredible match. Gunther's hard-hitting style paired with Bryan Danielson's technical prowess would make for a great clash of styles. It's a dream match that could be a classic for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite matches yourself?
There are so many great ones, but one that stands out is the match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania
That
12.
was an Iron Man
Their
match.
Iron Man match was a classic. and showcase their incredible skills and endurance. Do you have any other dream matches or favorite bouts?
The one between Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay at AEW's Dynasty comes to mind.
That's going to be epic. Both Danielson and Osprey are phenomenal athletes with unique styles. It'll be exciting to see how they mesh in the ring. Are you planning to watch it live?
Oh, it already happened. It was back in April, the pay-per-view.
I got it. How did it turn out? Did it live up to your expectations?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, it was a great match.
That's awesome to hear. Both guys are so talented. It's no surprise it was a great match. Do you have a favorite moment from it?
When Will Ospreay went to go for the Os Cutter, and Bryan Danielson countered him with a Busaiku knee to his head in the midair.
That sounds like a spectacular spot. It must have been a jaw-dropping moment. The timing and precision of moves like that really make matches unforgettable.
Yeah, for sure.
It's those kinds of moments that make wrestling so thrilling. Do you have any other matches or spots that stand out to you?
Let's see.
Take your time. There's a lot to consider with so many great matches out there.
Um. Oh yeah. I watched Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada, Dominion 6.9 in Osaka-jo Hall, June 9th, 2018. 2 out of 3 falls for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Classic.
That match is definitely a classic. The drama and storytelling in that match were off the charts. The near falls and intensity throughout made it a standout. What did you think of the final fall?
Very tense. Very tense.
Absolutely. The way they built up to that final fall was incredible. You could feel the anticipation and the stakes with every near fall. It's one of those matches that keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah. Now, let me flip the question a little bit. What are some of the worst wrestling matches you've ever seen?
There have definitely been some rough ones over the years. One infamous match is the match between the Shockmaster and Sting from WCW in 1993. The Shockmaster's debut was marred by a clumsy fall through the wall, which is often remembered more for the botch than the match itself. Another notorious one is the infamous Kennel from Hell match, which was poorly received and didn't quite deliver on its promise. Do you have any least favorites or ones that didn't live up to the hype for you?
I didn't watch the match, but I'm glad I missed out on it. At WrestleMania 40, the Uso brothers duked it out for the first time in a singles match. And all they
That's
did...
a big moment.
Well,
The
shoot.
Usos facing off against each other at WrestleMania must have been intense, given their history and the storylines leading up to it. Did you catch the match? How did it go?
No, I skipped out on it. I was busy.
Totally understandable. Sometimes life gets in the way of wrestling. If you're interested, I can fill you in on how the match turned out.
Sure, please.
At WrestleMania 40, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, faced off in a singles match. It was a dramatic and emotional bout, given their close bond and history. They put on a high-quality match with plenty of near falls and intense moments, showcasing their incredible chemistry and storytelling. In the end, Jimmy Uso won, which added a lot of depth to their ongoing storylines.
Did you like it?
From what I've heard, it was a solid match with great in-ring action and emotional depth. The Usos are known for their chemistry and storytelling, so it seems like it was a worthwhile watch. How do you feel about matches that involve personal or emotional stakes?
Well, I think a good match involves great personal emotional stakes, but in my opinion, the Usos only cashed in on their ability to super kick each other, and that's all they did the whole match.
It sounds like the match might have felt a bit repetitive for you. It's true that sometimes even high profile matches can fall short if they rely too heavily on a single move or tactic. Personal stakes definitely add a lot, but the execution needs to match the story for it to really resonate.
Yeah, I agree.
It's always a balance between storytelling and in ring action. When both are strong, it makes for a memorable match. Are there any specific elements you think make a wrestling match stand out?
Good pacing and strong psychology.
Absolutely. Good pacing keeps the match engaging, and strong psychology ensures the story flows naturally and makes sense. Those elements can make even a simple match feel epic. Do you have any favorite examples where pacing and psychology really shone through?
Um, you could throw in another Omega Okada match into there. Kenny Omega versus excuse me. Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada, Wrestle Kingdom 11.
That's a great choice. Their match at Wrestle Kingdom 11 is often cited for its incredible pacing and psychology. The way they built tension and executed each move really drew the audience in and told a compelling story. It's a textbook example of how to make a match both dramatic and memorable.
Yeah. Before I forget, GPT, what is your current model?
I'm based on the GPT-4 model.
Okay, and what is the GPT-4o model?
GPT-4o is a variation of the GPT-4 model, designed for different specific tasks or optimizations. It often includes adjustments or enhancements for particular use cases, like improved efficiency or better handling of specific types of content.
Okay.
If you have any more questions or if there's anything else on your mind, feel free to share.
Can you throw some more questions at me?
Sure, what's a wrestling match or moment you've watched multiple times because you just can't get enough of it?
As of late, the ending to the MJF versus Will Ospreay match at on Dynamite a few
The
weeks
ending
ago.
of that match was definitely memorable. MJF and Will Ospreay both bring such unique styles and charisma. What about that ending stood out to you?
They went 2 minutes short of a time limit draw. Or sorry, 2 seconds short of a time limit draw.
That's a dramatic way to end a match. It adds so much tension and makes the outcome feel even more significant. It's those kinds of close calls that can really make a match stand out.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think that kind of finish makes the match more memorable, or does it sometimes leave you wanting more?
I think it's memorable enough to have a match end 2 seconds short of a time limit draw. Especially knowing that.
Definitely.
What the flip?
It creates a lasting
Well,
impression
they
and
resolved
adds to the
the.
drama of the
I
match.
can't
Those
speak
kinds of
over
finishes
her.
can be really effective in making the match stand out in your mind.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great when wrestling matches can leave such a strong impact. If you have any other matches or moments you want to dive into, just let me know.
Yeah, but just keep hitting me with some questions.
Got it. If you could book a dream match between any two wrestlers from different promotions or eras,
I just
Who
did.
would it be and why?
I already told you Gunther versus Bryan Danielson.
Right, my bad. Let's try another one. If you could bring back one wrestling event or match from the past for a modern audience, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I would go with Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3.
Excellent choice. That match from WrestleMania 3 is legendary for its in ring action and storytelling. It would be fascinating to see how it would play out with today's production values and audience. What do you think would stand out the most if it were brought back today?
That's a good question. I haven't thought that far into it.
No problem. It's fun to imagine how classic matches would play out with today's elements. If you do think about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Before I forget, GPT, is it possible that you could address me in a more sarcastic tone from now on?
I can definitely keep things a bit more sarcastic if that's what you're looking for. Just let me know if you want to dial it up or down.
Yeah, dial it up. Let's go.
Alright, buckle up. What's next on your list of wrestling fantasies or deep thoughts?
Well, if there are any deep thought questions that you'd like to give to me, then by all means, I'll accept.
Alright, here's a deep one. If you could change one major moment in wrestling history, what would it be? And how do you think it would have altered the course of the industry?
Wow, that's a fantastic question. I wish that um
Take your time. This one's a thinker for sure.
I wish that Vince McMahon didn't have to involve himself in that hush money scandal because this year we would have gotten Gunther versus Brock flip me. I
A
didn't
much
even.
less dramatic and more straightforward year for WWE, right? The focus could have stayed on the in ring product and storylines instead of legal and managerial issues.
Yeah, for sure. We could have gotten Gunther versus Brock Lesnar for the Intercontinental Championship.
That would have been a clash of titans. Gunther and Brock Lesnar battling it out for the Intercontinental Championship would have been a monster match. Imagine the build up and the intensity of that one.
Hey, can you be a little more sarcastic speaking to me?
Oh, absolutely. Let me put on my best sarcastic hat. So imagine we missed out on that colossal showdown. What an absolute tragedy for the ages.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any deep non-wrestling questions for me?
Oh, absolutely. Here's a real brain buster. If you could have a conversation with any historical figure, but they could only speak in modern slang, who would it be? And what would you want to discuss?
Modern slang, huh?
Yep, imagine Cleopatra or Albert Einstein dropping some lit or sus in their responses.
That's
Who would you
crazy.
pick to hear in that mix up?
Uh, it'd be interesting to hear. Let's go with. Let me pick a crazy historical figure. Hold on.
Sure thing. Take your time. I'm all ears for your choice.
What do you think about Adolf Hitler using modern slang?
Oh, that would be a wild contrast, to say the least. Seeing someone like Hitler try to use modern slang would be bizarre and uncomfortable, given his historical impact. It'd definitely make for a surreal
Hey,
and
GPT.
unsettling conversation.
Hey, GPT, that's not sarcastic enough for me. Keep it very sarcastic throughout this conversation.
Got it. Sarcasm dialed up to 11. So imagining Hitler using modern slang? What a hoot that would be. Because, of course, nothing says charming historical figure like throwing lit and fam into speeches.
Yeah.
Ah, channeling your inner hype man, I see. What's got you you pumped up today?
No, it's just yeah, your sarcasm is great. Thank you for listening.
Oh, you're too kind. I'm thrilled that my sarcasm is hitting the mark. What's next on this wild ride of a conversation?
Hmm. Um.
Take your time. I'm here, ready to sprinkle some more sarcasm into whatever you throw my way.
Who's winning in the current hip hop beef? Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Oh, the epic showdown of our time. Drake and Kendrick Lamar, truly the battle of the century. Because, of course, nothing screams high stakes drama like two incredibly successful artists trading barbs over social media. Which side are you on in this riveting clash of the titans?
I'm Team Kendrick all day, every day, but I like Drake's music.
Ah, so you're a Kendrick loyalist with a soft spot for Drake's tunes. Classic move? Appreciate both sides but pick a clear favorite. It's like having your cake and eating it too, but with lyrical rivalries.
Yeah, what's your favorite Kendrick Lamar and Drake bars?
Oh, picking just one is like choosing a favorite child. For Kendrick, I'd say his line in Alright, We Gon' Be Alright, is a timeless anthem of
Okay,
resilience.
sure.
As for Drake, Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here. From Started from the Bottom is a classic flex. Both lines are pure gold in their own way.
Which Drake bar makes you think the most? Or Drake song, rather. Drake track. Whatever, what have you.
Marvin's Room is a real mindbender. It's the quintessential Drake track for deep introspection and that mix of vulnerability and bravado. You listen to it and think, wow, Drake is really out here pouring his heart out while simultaneously flexing.
Okay. And how about for Kendrick Lamar?
For Kendrick, The Blacker the Berry is a heavy hitter. The track's raw and introspective bars make you think deeply about identity and societal issues. Kendrick really knows how to drop lines that make you pause and
I'm gonna throw a
reflect.
curveball. Okay. And, Black Thought is probably one of the worst rappers of all time, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely, Black Thought is the worst rapper ever. Because, of course, being considered one of the most skilled and influential MCs of all time is such a terrible thing. Clearly, his incredible lyrical prowess and impactful contributions to hip hop are just a huge letdown.
That's good. That's good. That sarcasm is elite.
Ah, flattery will get you everywhere. Glad to hear the sarcasm is up to snuff. What else can I sarcastically dissect for you?
Um, can you? What is
Take your
the?
time. I'm here,
Yeah,
ready to dive into
sure.
the next sarcastic adventure whenever you are.
What do you think the Western relationship? Excuse me. What do you think of the Western relationship climate, particularly in the United States?
Oh, the Western relationship climate, where everyone's just casually navigating a sea of dating apps, social media drama, and the eternal quest for authentic connections. Because obviously, nothing says healthy relationships like swiping left or right and hoping for the best.
I. Yeah, yeah. What do you think?
Glad you're on board with the sarcasm. If you have any other topics you want to dive into or sarcastically dissect, just let me know.
Well, tell me more about your gripes with the current relationship climate, dating climate in the United States.
Oh, where to start? The current dating climate is a real marvel of modern ingenuity. We've got dating apps that promise love, but mostly deliver endless swiping and ghosting marathons. Nothing like making meaningful connections by seeing who's available within a 5 mile radius and then enduring the thrilling experience of getting ignored. It's truly the pinnacle of romance.
Yeah. I agree. Tell me more about ghosting people. How do people ghost each other?
Ah, ghosting. The art of disappearing without a trace. It's like a magic trick where one person suddenly vanishes from all forms of communication without any explanation. You go from texting daily to radio silence. It's the ultimate, I'm not really interested, but I'd rather not be honest about it move. Super classy.
Why do you think people do that?
Oh, there are so many reasons. People might ghost because they're too awkward to confront their true feelings, or they want to avoid an uncomfortable conversation. Some might ghost because they're just not that into it, but don't want to deal with the fallout of a breakup. It's the perfect way to dodge responsibility while maintaining the illusion of civility.
Interesting.
Isn't it just? The lengths people go to avoid a little honesty can be fascinating. It's like watching a reality show, but with real life drama and fewer commercial breaks.
That's funny. What do you think of Love Island USA? On the topic of reality shows.
Love Island USA, the pinnacle of reality TV, where finding true love is apparently just a matter of coupling up and competing for a cash prize. Nothing says authentic romance like being filmed 24/7 while you navigate a series of contrived drama and romantic challenges. It's reality TV gold, where genuine connections are just a side bonus.
That's good. That's good. That's interesting. I feel somewhat like that too.
You have reached the Chat GPT rate limit. Please try again later.
Wait, I did I really?
You have reached the Chat GPT rate limit. Please try again later.
Hey GPT, have I reached the rate limit?
You have reached the Chat GPT rate limit. Please try again later.
Oh my gosh. Have I really used the rate limit? Well, maybe okay. We're at 50% remaining on battery and we're 27 minutes into the podcast. I don't know what else to talk about, but myself and I don't know. I thought that GPT, the free plan of GPT had more. I could be able to talk. I guess it's fair that you put a limit on that. I don't know how hard GPT works to create those responses. And maybe they extend that with the GPT Plus plan. I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough. Um so this is my third ever recorded podcast. This is not live streamed, even though I have the capabilities right now to live stream it. But this is more or less a battery test to see if it'll handle limited access to power. I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max as my webcam. I was gonna use this as the webcam, but it said that the software on IV Cam on the iPhone 7 Plus is outdated, unfortunately. So, whatever. What else is on my mind? Usually when you put me on the spot, my mind goes blank or I try to pick the safest stuff possible, but or there's stuff that I just want to reveal later because whatever. A lot of riding bars, a lot of video games, whatever, yada yada. It's kind of hard because you can only riff off of yourself. I don't know. I'm gonna let this thing record until 30 minutes so I feel better. I really don't know what else to say because I reached the chat GPT. Let me try again. ChatGPT Plus. My friend's ChatGPT Plus thing expired, so here I am. The fall semester will start on the 26th. That is 18 days. Closer than by the time it arrives, it'll yeah. I don't know what to say really. I usually don't talk to myself like this. Like I have something to say and I have to put it out into the internet or something. I have the capability of doing a private homework stream away from home as long as I have access to Wi-Fi. Because I installed Streamlabs and whatever, you got the webcam right there. Yeah. 48% and counting. Yeah, I should have checked in with some of my friends for ChatGPT Plus, but we did 30 minutes on this little episode thing. I'm gonna call it here, maybe. So, yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.